I wanted to ask you, if you had to pick 2 songs from your CD to tell people to buy from iTunes, which would they be?
Oh my God, I'm terrible at it. That's the thing. Like, always, even from movers, like I never, like I have the hardest time figuring out what is like, what's the single or, and it's funny. I'd be afraid to pin myself down, but obviously, if you look at the sequence of the record, you'll get the sense of what I felt like the strongest material or the most, strategically what the songs I wanted people to hear first are.
Right.
But it's not that. But I didn't necessarily do it right. For instance, like track number 10 is about Fall Back In. That's one that I've been like, half the people that listen to my record tell me it's their favorite song. And I'm like, oh, why put it last? It's so funny. I mean, I literally put the song that everyone says is their favorite song. I put it in number 10. The reason I put it 10 wasn't because I thought it was a bad song. These 10 songs are literally like by 10 picks out of, dozens. So I think they're all very strong. But for some reason, it just ended up in the sequence that way, So I guess the one that I thought was the kind of the poppiest and hookiest was Rain. That's why I put it first. And then Zombie, I think it's clever, and I like the concept. It's got a lot of my personality in it. The premise of that song that I essentially, it's like, what if Van Morrison were the only person to survive the zombie apocalypse? It's like that's sort of the, that's the backstory of that song. But it's really more of obviously a metaphor about music and the power of music. But but that song means a lot to me, just lyrically and thematically, I grew up kind of a building block of music for me was Otis Redding and Creedence.
Right.
CCR. It's like CCR is like the kings of the 2.5-minute simple pop song, or rock song, I should say, and 3-chord rock, and that's like a big influence for me. Sam Cooke, Otis Redding, Beatles, Creedence, all that kind of stuff from like the late '60s. From my parents' record collection, but so Zombie Radio, like the chorus of it reminds me of that was me sort of trying to capture that feeling of one of those old Creedence songs. I'm trying it, but so I like them all. Oh, and then Mazes, the song Mazes is like, I listen to a ton of like every night when we're cooking dinner or whatever. It's always like Jack Johnson or somebody like that in our house, something kind of laid back and with a lot of hooky pop. There's a little bit, but it's like there's a song that's a song that I feel like it's a very, I think it's a hooky, catchy, strong song, and it's so upbeat. So I don't know. I like them all. I think All I Need is hilarious because all I need is that's a. I don't know if you realize, but the chorus of the song All I Need is me quoting Steve Martin's big scene at the end of the movie The Jerk. Vintage Steve Martin. I was very, very young when it all happened, but like. I guess my parents and owners like that sensibility. I think it's something that's very nostalgic for me. And anyway, so the chorus of the song "All I Need" is word for word his speech at the end of that movie.
See, now I have to go rent it.
It's a rags to riches story where his character, he's like a dummy, but then he invents this dumb invention, he becomes very rich, but then he gets the girl, and then he loses all his fortune, and there's a big fight. They're in he's in his mansion in like a bathrobe, and that's it. And he's standing there, and they're breaking up, and he's like, well, all I need is this ashtray and this lamp. All I need is this ashtray and this lamp. And these matches. He keeps grabbing things. At the end of the scene, he's holding like 15 things. Anyway, so that was my inspiration for that song was,